What's up, everybody? We back with another message, another video. Thank you to all my new subscribers and future new subscribers. You know we do nothing here without God because everything is spiritually led by God over here. We cover the world from a spiritual and physical aspect to get the raw, real, and uncut answers. So anything you hear, anything you see in these end times, may you test the spirits, aka take the words and visuals back to prayer with God, as there are many Decepticons running around in these end times sent from the enemy. Had that strong, close, and personal relationship with God. Good, great, and awesome. All right, everybody. So y'all know how transparent I am when it comes to the journey the Lord has given onto my life, okay? I do want to share something with y'all that I have come to a realization about over the couple of weeks that the Lord has been asking me this particular question. And before we even get started, just know I'm going to definitely lead y'all to scripture because God always leads me to scripture. But basically, I had a dream regarding this particular video that I would receive some backlash because people would be like, what? Why you? Why this? Why that? You know how people get. I don't necessarily care about that, of course, but y'all know how that goes. Rare journey, you know, that I got going on. So the question was, the Lord asked me this. He says, hey, would you rather be with me or experience the Great Awakening? And I'm like, what? I said, Father, wait, what did you ask me? And he says, would you rather be with me or a part of the Great Awakening? And he says, answer honestly and truthfully. So I said, God, hold on, what's going on? And he led me to scripture. You know, I'm like, hold on now. So Hebrews 11:5, this was about Enoch. Remember, Enoch did not face death and got translated, and God took him. And this scripture says, by faith, Enoch was taken away so that he did not see death and was not found, because God had taken him. For before he was taken, he had this testimony that he pleased God. So it was so interesting because we know that there's nothing new under the sun. So that which has been is what will be. That which is done is what will be done. And there's nothing new under the sun. So God can definitely do that again, if that makes sense, everybody. So I definitely use scripture. God led me to use scripture. I don't want y'all thinking it's like crazy, but you know, just to highlight some parallels, well, not parallels, excuse me, highlight some past things with this video. You know, the Lord would say things to me like, many cannot go where I am taking you, not where I'm sending you or, you know, guiding you, or, you know, he said exactly where I am taking you. And I'm like, okay, you know, I hear that, but what do you mean by that? You know, even when it comes to the mentioning of a family, wife or kids, God has not specifically said anything about me having not necessarily a family per se. You know, and that was not something that bothered me because I told the Lord this. I'm like, I just want to do for you. Bring as many people back as possible for you. And go super hard for you. With no, you know, interruptions or extra things that I may have to worry about. Because I know the enemy will use certain things against me. And there's nothing like a child being used against you, and you have to, it can be turned into a faith thing. But, you know, I just told him, I just want to do for you because I've accelerated so quickly. Like, this is what I do. This is what I do. This is what it's about for me. And so whatever his will is for my life, you know, I just tell him, like, let it be done. But that's what I said, because he didn't mention it. I made a joke. I remember telling y'all this. I made a joke about a couple of months ago regarding Jesus' return. And I said, oh, that's funny. I probably won't even make it to 40 years old. And he goes, well, like he literally said, like, well, and I'm like, hold on, what? You know what I'm saying? Am I supposed to die or something? You know, but the Lord, you know, he kind of just gave that well and laughed a little bit. And I do remember telling y'all in the community post, like, I don't feel like with this journey, I was supposed to be here too long. You know, I just don't feel that. I don't feel that. Like God is in particularly helping me help his children, you know, so he's speaking through me to his children, the church, so that they can build their faith and figure out who they are in the Lord, you know, based on using my life, my journey, and using me to do so, because I've accelerated so fast. Like, my story and journey is just not the normal, if you've heard it. And just looking at my life too, and how fast I accelerated with particular gifts that the Lord has given me in, you know, training. That was another thing. I was like, God, what's going on? You know? So it was just, this journey has been so bizarre, but so amazing. So he told me that he would show people through my life what he could do. And he's doing that right now. You know, and then the Lord will say things like, you have no idea who you are, which is a normal thing. But just to add to it, now, I don't think I've ever shared this dream on YouTube, but back in like November, December, I had a dream of basically body translation from the flesh, like the physical body, to the spiritual. And I remember telling people, I was like, this is it. This is what this is. You don't need to be scared. Like, we really are, this is happening. That translation from that flesh, the physical, to the spiritual. And so that was interesting to me. So now the Lord asked me this question: do you want to be with me, or do you want to be a part of the Great Awakening? And I just kind of told him yes at first, you know, but I was like, but at the same token, I don't want to miss seeing people's journeys that, you know, you allowed me to see and help. I want to see other people be able to do great things. It's not even just about myself. And I mean, I can do more, but I'm like, Father, like, it's kind of a 50-50 thing. And you'd understand too, when you walk your calling, what it feels like to help God's people and his children. And what, oh my goodness, it's so different with the gifts that he's given me to help his children. It's so good. And you care so much about your brothers and sisters. Like, I care so much about everybody. I can't let somebody walk out without, you know, something lifted off of them, or I just can't let people go without something effective happening, which it naturally does with the Lord. But that's how much I care about individuals. So, and how much I care about what I do. And so every time, like, I would get done talking to somebody in the calls, my answer would go from yes to, wow, Father, I don't know, like, I don't want to miss this and I don't want to miss that, you know, and it would go from yes to that. And so it was kind of funny every time I would get done with calls or talking to somebody that I talk to a lot. And it ended up coming down to the Lord saying to me this week, about a day ago, yesterday it was, he said, I really wanted you to see how much you care about my children, your brothers and sisters. You really love them. And I can tell that you do. He says, every time you answer, your heart is not necessarily in the yes. And I can tell, because he's not going to make you do something. Because I do know the Lord was serious about what he asked me. And he told me, he says, put up the video and tell your brothers and sisters the experience if you're serious about, you know, you really mean the yes. So this is more of me just sharing this story, because it's just such a different, unique thing, but interesting. And so, yeah, he was like, you really care about my children, your brothers and sisters. You have a lot of love for them. And I really wanted you to see that. You really do. And you become more like your Father and treat your brothers and sisters and look at them the way that the Father sees them, the more you do this. And I start thinking about, oh my goodness, but like, no, I got to make sure that this person's able to do this. And, you know, like, it's like, it's not your job to do that per se, but you care so much about them. Like, no, God, remember this person got to do this and that, you know. It's like, y'all aren't my kids, but being a leader in the church is what God is building me to be. I'm already doing it, but that's how it is. You like be keeping track of everybody, not trying to, but God brings stuff back to your memory when you talk to a person again. It's like, all right, remember what the Lord told you. And so it's just so funny to me. But it's such a beautiful thing. And, you know, I just told the Lord, like, hey, you see everything. You are all seeing and all knowing. I don't know what my journey holds, but, you know, if that's what you want, because I do remember the Lord saying, I look forward to seeing you. And I said, I look forward to seeing you too. And that's when I saw that green flash of lightning in the sky. He says, I'm sorry, did I startle you? So he would be doing all those little playful things, but he really put that realization in my spirit on me that I'm like, wow, this is so true. I couldn't even answer that like fully a yes in my heart, because it wasn't even about, you know, necessarily taking the easy way out. It's just like, I love God. I love him so much. And if he told me that, I'm like, yeah. It was kind of scary at first. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but yeah. And I mean, I'm still open to that. Yes. I mean, I don't want to take away, like if God really wanted that, I don't want to take that away from him and his love, even though he's going to be so good about both, you know, sides to things. So it's just a beautiful thing that, you know, he wanted to show me that, but he was serious and still is. But he does know that he's like, your heart can't even get a full yes, because you just care so much about what you're doing. There's so much more. I said, God, I want to part oceans instead of red seas. We need to part an ocean. I want to see that, you know? So it was kind of conflicting for me. And most people would think that's crazy. Like, I would just be like, yeah, let's go, right? But it's different when you walk the calling. It's not, it just feels different. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you. Y'all would have to walk like in fullness in your callings to know what this is feeling like when you get to help people like this and build up that story, you know, and help others build theirs with the Lord. Oh, so it was just such a roller coaster. But I did tell God, you know, if that's something that you want, I am so for it. You know, it's not like I haven't done anything, because I'm walking my calling in the fullness. It's just, there is much more and greater things, of course, I can do, but I'm doing things. You know, I don't talk about everything I do with y'all, but I'm doing things, y'all. Let's just put it that way. I'm not trying to talk about all that in detail, but I'm doing things. So it's not like I had never experienced doing particular things before. And it's just so much I've already seen spiritually. But I'm just so glad God is considerate and he knows our hearts. And he's just like, your heart was not fully in that. Yes, you know. But I'm thankful for the Lord, and whatever his will is, I'm happy either way. So I just wanted to share that with y'all because I thought that was so interesting and it was different. And transparency and just part of that relationship that God is letting me share with y'all. Peace and blessings, and I will catch y'all in the next one.